Morning, it's Glenn again, back with another game recap to look at. I had found myself with some time before work again this morning. For scholars of the future, this is all happening during COVID-19 times, and I've been working at home for quite a few months. It's been nice to have some time back in the mornings and evenings, saving on the commute. Yeah, means I can do stuff like this morning. So this is a humans versus humans game against a fairly inexperienced coach who's not played that many games as yet. Who's the team in purple here? Something I noticed during the game, it was even though there's sort of a purple and black colour scheme here, my team are black and yellow because they're the Hornets. Up close, really easy to tell them apart. When I zoomed out to the normal match view, it really isn't. So really reliant on the circles that come up under the team whose turn it is to tell them apart. Interesting little thing, and you'll see that when we get to when we get to the setup. I think I won the toss and chose to kick. This is only a couple of days ago, so memories of this game are a bit fresher. Goodness, which way should we watch this game? Let's watch it from the Purple Heads viewpoint, because I mean I saw it from the other way up when we played the other night. And we'll start looking at what players are on the team. So I'm defending. Left my two catchers out over there. Yeah, so as I mentioned in the last video, this catcher leveled up, took Nerves of Steel, and two linemen with no star player points. Let's chuck on the advances here. And that sounded like it might have been the end. So, Blitzer with tackle, back as a sweeper. Matra's got leader and accurate. Blitzer with tackle on the wing there. Lineman with no advances. Lineman with no advances. Ogre with guard still. The block movement 5 lineman took fend after the last game, after levelling up. Which I kind of regretted almost straight away. If I get a lineman with a movement or agility penalty with the block skill, I quite often like to give them Dauntless and then just send them after big targets. So I was sort of wishing I did that with him already at this point. Then lineman with nothing. Blitzer with no advances, who was injured in the last game. And my straightforward Blitzer is back here, sort of to discourage following up after blocks here. And obviously this guy with fend can be a bit wasted for that tactic. Yeah. So that's one of the reasons I'm regretting it, because I'm always going to want to put him on the line of scrimmage with his injury. So we've got it back here. Lineman with tackle, catcher with block and fend, lineman with guard, Blitzer with guard, Ogre with no advances, Blitzer with guard, a journeyman lineman who's at 10 players for this game. That means I know I need to injure one player to be outnumbered, and I've got 4 reserves, so I shouldn't have to worry about that. And then a Blitzer and a catcher with no advances on his right wing here. And I think that was about the end of the setup. We've still got some movement. So, yeah, catcher's protected on the wings reasonably well. Has them back. A good, unfortunate throw a rock to start. Knocks out that catcher, I think. One thing I noticed in my setup when I had a similar thing on the wings, about catchers being vulnerable to a blitz here. They'll set up in a good sort of anti-frenzy positioning. I don't have anyone with frenzy, but that's good habit to get into, sort of using that diagonal for frenzy protection. But a blitz roll on the kickoff table would have meant almost certainly one of these blitzers would have gone for one of these catches straight away. Because they're dangerous scoring threats. I mean, you can sort of get around that sort of thing by maybe dropping them a bit deeper, but then they're a bit less of an immediate scoring threat. I guess Fen there does help if everyone gets pushed back here. It does help my strength 4 blitzer from being overwhelmed. yeah, knockout. So it levels up on numbers pretty early on. I was already looking at. I can stand both of these guys up. My straight 4 blitzer's got 2 dice on his ogre. I've got block and he hasn't. That's immediately what I'm going to be taking. So he's left a bit of a gap here, which I think his blitzer's going to fill okay. Yeah, so has left a gap there for me to get through. That's something else I was looking at as well. So I made that pass okay. He could have moved a bit closer though, and I don't know if it might have helped with getting it to a short pass. But the throw still had movement left through the ball. It's something to take note of. So I'm looking at this point. The ball's over here, pretty well protected. I'm just going to be looking at, like we saw against the Orcs in the last game, trying to just sort of slow advance down here. So I moved this guy over to give an assist on this block, which he'd left me. But also he's good protection against the catcher, just booking it down the touchline. But I'm sort of shifting players over, so my sweeper blitzer over here, because it looks like this is where the attack's coming. I will still have to watch this side as well, but I've also got space to advance and maybe overlap them a bit, sort of rotate the line diagonally like this. And if I can rotate the line that we're facing off on to here, it gives me much more space to play with than my opponent. And I think just with my sort of more skilled players, I'd feel confident in winning out on the blocking game. I've got more people with the block skill, things like that. I should mention inducements actually, because there was about sort of high 300s difference in team rating. Let's take a journeyman, but he took a wizard. We've got a wizard, Bloodwiser Keg, and a bribe. So I was expecting a foul to come at some point with that bribe there. I think I might have gone for the chainsaw special character and a couple of bribes, or possibly the Halfling Master Chef with that much inducements to play with. But all solid choices he'd made. He doesn't have like a dirty player or anything though, so the bribe in isolation was maybe a little odd. Now I started looking at things here like this massive group of players advancing down the touchline. Really good opportunity building for me to just shove the ball carrier off the pitch. I can't get him very easily because he's surrounded by players. But with chain pushing in a big group, it's quite easy to just work it so that you can get the ball carrier pushed off the pitch. And I think that's what happens within the next couple of turns. Bunched up players can make that dangerous. I just need to start looking at strategic pushbacks to fill in all the spaces so that back off the pitch is the only option. And there's one straight there, so to get that catcher on the touchline. Don't have many more free players around here at the moment, but I feel quite confident that the opposing team is not going anywhere at this stage. And taking strength 4 blitzer on the thrower there, sort of left out as a vulnerable target. The throwers are important players in human teams, and it gives me another sort of beefy player I can get around here to fill in more spaces. I don't really want him standing on the touchline, but it gives me another option next turn. So unfortunate. Both down to start the turn there. And that means this catcher is almost certainly leaving the pitch this turn. The ball's going to be chucked somewhere. And we'll find out where that goes. Straight in, making good use of the guard on my ogre. If I'd and then ball carriers available to be blitzed. Fend was no help there. I didn't want to follow up anyway, but lands quite a friendly way for me. Obviously, the thrower can stand up and pick the ball up here. Well, would have been able to, but straight in with a blitzer who hasn't leveled up yet. So had my eye on him to score this game if I could. And yeah, he's exactly who I want to be picking up some points. Leaving my ogre till very late on because I'd already made some use out of his assists. If he'd found a bonehead early on, I wouldn't have got them. Just trying to mark up the ogre with a wrestle player. I think on it both down, I'd probably take it for a turnover. So wizard got used there. Understand why, because it thinks, well, it's going to score if I don't do something. But I've got another player right here who also deliberately sent forward because he's in positions to level up as well. I've got another player right there and come pick it up. If he can't deal with both of these players or mark them up well this turn, the wizard has basically had no effect because I'm still gonna score. It might take me another turn than it had. But at this point, if he can't deal with both of these players, he needs to just make me score quickly so he can get the ball back and have another go at attacking. So he's come in and marked up the blitzer. Try to go for it to... I guess he's probably... I think this is the thrower, so I think he wants to get on the ball and pick it up. But I guess with using the reroll, maybe didn't want to risk another space. Yeah, so both players marked up. This ogre did have a bad time of it with bonehead rolls in this game, which is quite unfortunate. So I'm looking at freeing up these extra players here. I've got maybe my thrower as the best candidate to pick up the ball with sure hands. I think he needs to go for it to get there. I've still got a lot of opposing players against the touchline here. So I'm still looking for serfs, and pushing him back means if I can get assist on there, which Yoga provides, I can shove him off as well. Could have tried it with one dice, but two is safer. So that's a guard lineman off for the drive. And yeah, here now I'm just going to go crowd the ball. Obviously, leaving players by the touchline is quite dangerous, but I sort of feeling like my ogre's probably safe in this situation, and I've got someone else standing in the space that he'd be pushed off the pitch from anyway. Okay, so Freya comes in, grabs the ball, had a blitz there. Let's get the opponent thrower off. My thrower could have scored here, but I really want these players to be scoring to level up. And also I mentioned last time, there's my throwers leveled up only with passes so far, and I'm enjoying that. So scoring with him felt dirty. Another unfortunate foul bonehead for the ogre. I think that was going to be a blitz as well. Yeah. Oh no, this was going to be a blitz. He was just going for a desperate play to try and knock the ball down. So my thrower could score here, but I'd much rather somebody else did. So I just risking the pass instead of what's this up here? There's potential for another surf. I think I was setting up. So if I can get a blitzer off the pitch, it's a free injury roll. So I thought I might as well take it. A guard blitzer as well, so a useful player, and he's out for the game. So I kind of get that the idea that these are just safety plays in case my pass goes wrong now. Trying to limit options of getting at the ball. This stunned player over here is helpful for that. So I've got movement on my throw, move him into quick pass range, and then chuck the ball over, which which is successful, and leveled up lineman. Second touchdown of his career for this lineman, and he's levelled. I think he'd picked up a casualty in the meantime as well, so he's got up to 8 points for that touchdown. Yeah, so I was saying before I got distracted, the flanks are sort of an obvious place of attack, but you have to be really careful about how you do it to avoid the touchline, because I pushed, I think, 3 players off the pitch in that drive. One of them is now out for the game, who's an important player, a guard blitzer. So advancing in a big bunched up group gives me the opportunity to do that, because I can push players into each other, get them near the touchline, fill in spaces around them, so the only option available is off the pitch. Obviously, if any square on the pitch is available for a pushback, you have to take it. And skills like stand firm and sidestep are obviously good protection from being pushed off the pitch. But it doesn't have any of those in this team. So, advancing up the wide zones has to be done carefully. This stops my ogre following up into my Stretford blitzer, but probably be actually. So using Fender there did actually prevent my my big boy having a block next turn, unless it's volunteered to me. It's lineman knocked out. Let's say lineman with no advances. Something I did when that lineman leveled up. He's no better now than any of the other players on my team. Any other linemen with like 0 star player points. So I switched one of them in instead, so they can maybe pick up some points. Because he needs another 8 to level. Some of them only need 6. I may as well spread the points up, get some more players to become better. Okay, so we've got 2 turns left for the purple heads. My defence is looking solid enough, sort of starting to build some elf columns to shut down the advance of players over here. Got a catcher on the ball, so one of their quickest players can reach the end zone in 2 turns. I just got to make sure he doesn't get through. Blitzing this other catcher. Dodge kept him up, but I'm just going to come around and sort of put some pressure on the ball. A couple of go for it's to try and close those last squares down. I think that was all right with the reroll. Unfortunately, not one of my blitzers with tackle. Feeling like this is pretty solid here. So the only gaps I've left are out in the wide zone. With what happened in the first drive, if we get a catcher down here, I'd be pretty confident about swamping them, shutting it down. Even if they're in a group, I'd be trying to just push them against the touchline. Clear that out of the way. Same over here. I've got enough players to cover over here. Two here. This guy's got fairly decent reach with movement 7. At this stage, I'm thinking, it's 1-0 at half time. That's how we're going in. Sort of forcing a dodge here, although it looks like he's setting up for a blitz instead. So blitz is down, but did draw 2 players away who could have been protecting the ball carrier down here. This blitz has to basically go back where it came from, so it hasn't advanced any further up the pitch. He needs, at the end of this turn, of course, to have somebody in scoring range. To be able to score in this half. we're looking at. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So a catcher would have had to have been at least here to have any hope of scoring this half. He didn't move at all, which I don't know. I know my opponent was using most of the 3 minutes on most turns. I don't know if he ran out of time there and didn't get a chance to move him, or just wanted to keep the ball safe. But yeah, if he was going to score in this half, catcher would have had to have been here in that last turn. Other players further forwards, but I was quite well covered from that happening. So yeah, now I'm just looking at blocking really, because I know there's no touchdown coming this half. Turn full of movement. Right, so yeah, he's looking at blocking this guy. Yeah, throw taking that. Something I did do is, it's a bit of a slim chance, I think, at this point. But I got this blitzer in scoring position at the end of my last turn. He's gone for a pass there, and I don't really know why. And he could have made that 3+ by moving closer. He could have made that 3+ roll. Actually caught a inaccurate pass, which is rare and great to see. But yeah, he could have had a star player point for completion by just moving closer, making it a quick pass, because he rolled a 3 for the pass roll. But what that did do is leave the ball vulnerable to me. All I've got to do is get this guy out of the way. I've got 2 players who can reach the ball. One who can reach it with a 2 dice block on a strength 2 player. Another one who can come pick it up, chuck it to my blitzer, who's available to score. By leaving him there, just in case I get another touchdown before half time here. And it was a bit of a slim chance, because my thrower's stuck over here somewhere, and that's who I'd want to be coming to pick up the ball and chuck it. Had to do it with a lineman, but it paid off, and this lineman I think actually levelled because of that as well, which was a nice little addition. Went up to 6 star player points and get a touchdown in. So there's really no reason to be making that pass, and it left the ball vulnerable to me, and just by making sure I had someone who could reach the end zone, I sort of benefited from that. I got a second touchdown in. So I was thinking that's a safe 1-0 half-time lead. It's turned into a 2-0 quite quickly, and I'm receiving for the second half, so things aren't looking good for the Purple Heads here. They're a player down. I've had knocked out players recover. I think it's 11 plays 10 for my attack. Yeah, it's still 10. And I've still got, my full complement of players, 4 reserves. I'll be looking at getting both of my catchers on for this drive because I'm attacking. There's I sort of feel like with the catchers and defending, there's not really any need to risk them. This is a good catcher protection setup from if you're receiving the ball. That's a good way to protect catchers from a blitz. Just shooting right behind. This one's obviously quite vulnerable, where he's a player down. I think probably one of these linemen, maybe the blitzer, should be here protecting the catcher. Catcher behind, probably throw behind the lineman. protect the thrower as well. So you can set up again, shifting his line of scrimmage over to reduce the number of blocks I get at the start, and a bit more forward protection on the wings. He knows I've got 2 catchers, but there's no one back here to protect from them. So I'm looking at this point. He's put his catchers out wide where I can get a 2 dice blitz in. So I'm going to be looking 2 dice blitz a catcher, get it out of the way, catcher down the wing is going to be what I'm doing first turn. Ogre didn't have a block on, just go shove him in a tackle zone where he can use guard. At this point, so move this guy. So Ogre in there gave me assist on that block. At the moment, got 1 dice on the Ogre. I think I chucked another assist in there later. But this is my... if he had Dauntless here, that could have just been 2 dice as it is. So yeah, that's where the important play for the attack comes. Don't follow up so he can keep moving. You'd have had to dodge out of this guy's tackle zone if you hadn't. And catcher into the opponent's half, who now has to be dealt with because he's immediately a scoring threat. He can score next turn if he's not dealt with, as long as I can get the ball to him. Haven't picked the ball up yet, but I haven't made any risky plays really. All my blocks have been made with people with the block skill. Had to use my other catcher to come in there and do that. And then kept the ball back here. No need to rush into a pass to make the ball more vulnerable. It's safe back there. I know at one point I do make a mistake with his positioning and leave him closer to the opponents than playing 2, but that isn't this half, I don't think. I don't know why it's not showing me the where it brings up all the tackle zones. There we go. So it's here actually, I think. This blitzer can go pressure him. I should have nudged him back a couple, should have checked where people can moved him back a bit, because there's a blitzer and a catcher who can reach him there. There's only one go for it to get a tackle zone on my thrower. So that was a bit careless. I should have been looking out for that. If I'm going to be hanging back with the ball, he had movement lefty, or he'd come forward, I think, after picking the ball up. Anyway, I could have had him back over here where he couldn't be reached. And then I could be scoring next turn to go 3-0 up, so I may as well be trying to take that. Yeah, go for it. Tackle zone on my thrower. At this point, I've got to be starting to now desperately scramble players back. So this is good pressure from the defending team, making the most of the mistake I made. So I've got to go blitz with at least one of these players, and forcing me to dodge with my thrower, which I don't really want to do. Deliberately blitz from there so that if I only got a push, get him away from my thrower to give him a relatively easy dodge there, rather than forcing him to go back a square if I'd left that as my only pushback option. So no, here my most important play really is this dodge with my thrower. Although I have only left him a 2 dice uphill, so I may have, that may be a bit of protection. So this catch has not been dealt with in the opponent's turn. Instead, just went to pressure the ball. But if I can get out of that, I've still got a scoring threat here this turn. So dodge made successfully. I don't know if I go for the throw now. I do go for the throw now. Yeah, runs it in for 3-0 this turn, I think. No need for me to hang about. It's not like it's going to put me 1 touchdown up. Might as well make the most of it. So go 3 up. Yes, that could have been made much harder for me by simply getting a tackle zone on that catcher. It does have Nerves of Steel, but if you're so if Shelby can't sort of go back, so the catcher was like here. I think if he just marked him up with someone here, which I think from the setup, if you're playing against a team that has quick moving players, you need someone who can get back there quickly in your first turn of the drive, or to have someone set up back here to be able to calm and mark the one player who can get through. And if the catcher's there, he's marking him from there, he's then got to dodge that way, and it reduces his chances of being able to get there in one turn. Gives him further to travel anyway, or more difficult dodges. Marking a Nerves of Steel catcher doesn't help with making the catch more difficult, but they've still got to dodge afterwards. Really, probably should have been blitzed if he wasn't going to blitz the ball carrier, but I think he uses blitz elsewhere in that one turn he had to try and address the problem. I pick up a blitz from a kickoff. So from here, it's close enough to the halfway line that I can get someone stood under the ball. Unfortunately, he didn't knock this guy down, so it's going to be a -2 on the catch, so I'm not expecting to catch it at this point. But I am straight away messing up the attack by just getting someone in there. Not really a lot of you can do about a blitz and a kick that scatters near the halfway line. So obviously there's no fault on the other coach here. But he's now got 2 of my players with tackle zones on the ball that he needs to clear off. He's going to score. Not sure. I think that was just So who was this? Yeah, thrower. So throwers, if he's going to pick up the ball in 2 tackle zones, if he feels like he has to do that, thrower's the best person to do it because they've got sure hands. But he moved here and then changed his mind and tried to dodge into 2 tackle zones to do it, which is not great. If you make a mistake and you're stuck on there, I think you just have to eat it at that point. Maybe move this lineman over, stand, make it hard for me to pick the ball up. He'll have 3 tackle zones on it then. He should be looking at using his blitz to get rid of at least one of these guys before trying to pick the ball up, or just to try and make the ball safe. Rather than panicking about getting the ball in hands, and especially if you've changed your mind about what you're doing after you've moved someone. In the video game version of this, there's nothing you can do about it. On tabletop, I've been like, put him back where he was, move again. But video game is less forgiving in that way. So I've just got myself another tackle zone on the ball. And just trying to clear players away. I've got a catcher against the touchline here. So too good an opportunity to not just get him off the pitch for the drive. I've got someone who can come pick the ball up here, although I may go with someone else. I think my thrower's back here. Not sure if he can reach. He can, so he's probably my thrower I'm going to look at picking the ball up with. If I have that as an option, it's always what I take because of sure hands. So foul bonehead limits my chances of putting blocks in here somewhat. So send that lineman ahead because for protection, I think. Or why am I going for it there? Why am I doing that? Fouled it anyway. I guess trying to get away from this player. I don't want him to just have a stand-up blitz onto my thrower. Probably not as dangerous as I was imagining, but it'd be a tackle zone on the ball carrier. That's probably why I'm trying to move away. Not necessarily that important, but I guess late in my turn. I'm still holding the ball because I had a friendly scatter there. So from receiving the ball, that blitz and the shallow kick has turned this into a defensive drive instead for my opponent here. So going for blitz on this guy, who's the biggest scoring threat. He can score next turn. So rightly targeting him and getting him off the pitch. So foul boneheads all round, so no ogres have tackle zones at the moment. Frees this player up to come and help with the defence. And there, yeah, he's going to be marking my thrower as he stands up. Here he's marking 2 players, so all I've really got to do is stand my thrower up, and I've got to block with this guy on him, 2 dice. Although that shuts that down. Thrower in danger. I want to be blitzing him. So, yeah, had to prioritise where I'm going to use my blitz. Could have blocked him with one of these players, but that means they can't move or can't block this guy. And just making a little pocket here to stick the ball into. Yeah, this blitzer in for a bit more protection. I really want someone in here as well. The ogre not having a tackle zone means this player is available to move. Use him for an assist first. And yeah, put that ogre down. So got another 2 dice block available here. Leaving that till late though, because this player doesn't have block, so it's a riskier prospect. I have to follow up to keep him marked. Otherwise, and put tackle zones in the way to stop him getting at my guy with the ball. If we can see, when are we going to see all the tackle zones pop up again? There we go. Keeps taking him off. Anyway, I was well covered here. As what I was trying to show you with the tackle zone view. It was pretty hard to get in there. It was quite a nice loose cage setup. So even when he blocks this guy, he wasn't following up into the ball carrier. Making a bit of space. There's a gap I can run through there. I think at 3-0 up, I can be looking at which players do I need to score to level up. I've got catch here, blitzer here on 5, who I probably want to be doing it. If he can't, I've got the ball down there. I've got players who can be a threat to him marked up. So I could just score with him as well, but with his start play points, that doesn't give me a lot. I think I've probably got a lineman or 2 who could benefit from it as well somewhere. This guy's on 2. On 1, sorry. Yeah, so this blitzer is the guy I had my eye on, who I wanted to score, because he'd level up if he did it. Bullying the opponent's ogre. So I pushed him that way to keep the assist. Ogre goes for my lineman there. Don't know if okay, yes, he's gone for the blitz there. 1 dice. Unfortunately, with the reroll to get a skull after rerolling the both down. So I should be scoring this half, but I think I'll take a turnover before I try to. But making safety plays in case that goes wrong to try and limit getting at the guy with the ball. not deliberately going to be stalling, especially at 3-0 up, and I don't do it anyway. But I'm pretty sure I take a turnover before I get a chance to score this turn. Do you get the ogre off the pitch there and pick up a casualty for my ogre? Just out for the game, but he's now 1 point, probably realistically 1 casualty off of levelling again. Double skull into a both down, and that player doesn't have blocks, so got a bit greedy, took a turnover, and give my opponent a shout at trying to get it. I remember seeing at the time, so he's blocked with his catcher with 2 assists. It's a great thing to do. But I say at the time, like, my opponent couldn't get into the Discord chat we had because of like bandwidth issues. But I was talking to another player who'd finished their game, who was watching in, saying, at this point the catcher follows up. He can get in here a bit easier with these players. This catcher's potentially in the way. Looked like I was actually wrong though. Yeah, I was misreading that. So catcher following up there didn't make a lot of difference because he's still got all these tackle zones to get through. I think I was looking at that wrong. So really his best shot is coming around this way, which is what he does do. He's got a lineman with guard, who I maybe would have put there and used the puts him down anyway. But lineman with guard there, lineman making the blitz would have been a 2 dice block, and unfortunately he found that dodge and got knocked out. So now I am looking at, this is the blitzer I want to score with. I've got 2 turns to make sure it happens, so on him picking up the ball this turn, because I don't think he can reach to pick up the ball and run it in this turn. Maybe he can, but I've got him free anyway. That's one of the things I wanted to make sure I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he can score this turn, but to go for it. And here he goes. So I've still got a reroll available. But I step back to not risk falling over in the end zone, because I know he can score next turn and there's not really going to be any getting to him. This lineman here is not getting round this player. This is a catcher, so I'm not so worried about a catcher coming to blitz me. It does come and stand in, but so he's got 2 dice on him, so it does give me a problem to deal with. 2 tackle zones on my ball carrier. Probably going to have to didn't blitz with the ball carrier, blitz this guy. Means I'm going to have to dodge to get the touchdown in. And made the dodge for touchdown number 4. And leveled up blitzer. So he took mighty blow when he advanced. Had a lineman leveling up and taking block. Another one rolling a double to take guard. So it's a really sort of healthy bit of leveling up in that game. 4 touchdowns will help to do that, by a few casualties as well. It's a good game for me. No, my opponent this game, I did send links to this playlist to his opponent. So hello Phil, if you're watching this one, I've decided to start doing this league as well, with these analysis videos. Yeah, so we're just looking at one turn now. So you should be looking at things like maximising blocks. So you've got anyone with 5-star player points who you can make a pass with. Not sure he has, actually. I haven't noticed anyone. No, so no one's got 5-star player points, but he can be trying to make a pass for a point and maximising blocks he can get. He hasn't hasn't committed a foul once in the game, so the bribe was a wasted inducement. The extra training reroll might have been more useful, or if he'd gone with a chainsaw star player instead of a wizard, he could have used the bribe there. But yeah, so making sure he gets someone on the ground. Obviously, wouldn't earn any star player points for a foul anyway, but it's sort of a bit late for a foul to have any effect on the game at this point. Does try for the pass, but yeah, it was inaccurate and landed on a marked player, so that was the game. Yeah, let's look at some things. So yeah, quite a few go for it rolls. Compared to me, I only made 5 to the 12. Wonder why lightning bolts coming up on mine rather than on here. Anyway, Boneheads. His Ogre had a rough game for Boneheads. 63% to my 85. It's difficult to point out that as like a reason the result goes the way it does. Like I don't think you can rely on a big guy player for any kind of game plan, because it is too unreliable to build a game plan around because of things like this and loner. I didn't make any loner rolls. He did try and succeed on a reroll with may have been his journeyman actually as well, so he had two players with loner on the pitch. Big failure rate on dodges, and I didn't make any particularly difficult dodges, which is going to help there. And I think my captures were probably actually my thrower and a blitzer definitely made dodges, so maybe the other one was a catcher, but nothing particularly risky. Let's just have a quick look at this team, because that was their last game. We can up to a big team rating, I think among the highest in this league. 1750 with this guy back in. Saving up for probably another reroll at the moment, and I would like a backup thrower at some point. I know it's a big squad, which is why my team rating is so high, but I actually don't mind inducements against me so much. I don't think they're they're nice to level things out, but I still like having a big squad. If my thrower is out injured, I think I'd really struggle, so I would like a backup one, and I've got this space saved. Left a gap in the numbering just so this matches my tabletop team with the numbering and positions. Yeah, this is how they look. So I did get that lineman take guard, another one take block in that game, and this blitzer took mighty blow from levelling up. So that's another one of those. I'm playing again next week. I don't know who I'm playing yet, because this game round's still open. There's 3 games to go. I know one's not going to be played till right up to the deadline. Currently sitting top with and almost certainly going to be playing this Cursed Dwarf team actually, because no one else can go up to 2 wins. Everyone who won in the first week has played, so almost certainly playing this Cursed Dwarf team, who won the first season, did well in the second, and then like me didn't play in the third season. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. That only giving away a keg's worth of inducements. They're going to be pretty solid to play against. Kind of looking forward to it as well, because we'd never played each other. So we'll see how that goes. That'll be an interesting one to watch next week. See you then.